Hello and welcome to episode 2.1 of my 10-minute champion series. On today's episode I'm going to show you something slightly different. I'm going to show you a game that I played off camera, a game in which we won 5-3 against Aston Villa. But the scoreline doesn't actually tell the whole story. Aston Villa played extremely well and took an early 2-0 lead. I'm going to show you the key highlights of the game and what I saw in the game and why I decided to change the formation of our team and the tactics which allowed us to eventually win 5-3. So this is their first goal. You can see Grealish has a free kick here. He crosses the ball. Lindelof clears out as far as target. He passes to Barkley, who passes to Douglas Luiz, and he scores a screamer from about 30 yards out into the top right hand corner. Nothing David De Gea or my team could have done there. So Aston Villa with a free kick. Martinez to Engels to Mings. Pass it to Barkley. They've now just bypassed our front three players, Mata, Cavani and Rashford. Our midfielders are nowhere to be seen. Pogba and Matic are marking no one here. Barkley has no one within 10 metres of him. Traore's already started to make a run. Mings didn't see him, he's passed it to Barkley, so now he's trying to get back on side. Our defenders are pushed up so far. You can see how much room is behind our defence. You can see where Traore is trying to make runs. Pass it to Barkley. No one's covering, no one's trying to get close to him. Let's see what happens after this. Pass it to Grealish, who tries the cross. Fernandes intercepts. Tellers is sleeping. Trezeguet gets a shot on target. De Gea well saves and then hits the post. Rashford clears it to no one. Pass it up the top. Engels to Cash. Engels could now pass it to Douglas Luiz or Barkley. No one's within 10 metres of either of them. Matic is still with the defence. Pogba's not covering anyone. Fernandes is with McGinn. Pass it to Treze. Pass it to McGinn. Fernandes has lost his marker. Barkley and Douglas Luiz, still no one within 10 metres of them. McGinn could pass it left to one of them. You can already see what's happening though. Traore has got so much space to run into. He's starting his run. McGinn pass it over the top to Traore and he shoots and it's well saved by De Gea. It's a terrible shot by Traore, but he is offside. Our defence do try and play for offsides and that time it worked, but you can see how easy it is for them to play the balls over the top behind our defence. So Aston Villa with the throw in again. Pass it to McGinn. No one near McGinn. If I play it on a bit further, you can already see what Traore is thinking of doing. He's on his bike. He's trying to run into this area here. No one's closing McGinn down. If he passes it into this area, there's no way David De Gea can make it all the way out, even though he is a sweeper keeper. Maguire's the wrong side. He's looking at McGinn rather than trying to watch the run of Traore. And I wonder what happens. McGinn plays it over the top. Traore tries the lob, but luckily for us, he's onside. It just hits the crossbar. This Aston Villa with another chance. Mata gets the free kick in. Traore has now collected the ball, trying to run at Matic. Easy for Traore. Turns around and passes it to Trezeguet. No one's marking. De Gea, great save. Grealish, another shot. And De Gea with another great save. Another Aston Villa highlight then. So Cash gets the ball back to Barkley. Douglas Luiz, plenty of time on our box. Grealish, Traore, Douglas Luiz, Cash takes it down. Gets the cross, Grealish strikes, but Williams is in the way and kicks out for a throw-in. And from that throw-in then, Target pass to Grealish, pass to Barkley in acres of space and smashes in their second goal of the game. So at this point in the game, this is the first point where I decided that enough was enough. Aston Villa 2-0 ahead, 35 minutes on the clock, and need to change something now. And what I did was I went on to the tactics and moved my defence all the way back so they're as deep as they can go. What that does is stops them trying to hit the long ball over the top, and hopefully it shortens the area where the long balls can be effective from. That's the only change that I made in the game so far, so let's watch this highlight and I'll show you how it affected it straight away. So Martinez passed it to Engels, passed it to Mings, who passes it to Barkley, exactly what they were doing before. They've passed it straight through our attackers. Rashford, Cavani and Mata. Our midfielders are still nowhere to be seen. Fernandes, Pogba not marking anyone. Their three midfielders are free. But what you can see is Traore is trying to make a run. But look at our defence now. Alex Telles, Maguire, Lindelof and Williams are starting to run back towards our goal. You can see there's still a bit of a gap, but they're trying to close that gap and make that gap behind them smaller by running back towards the goal. We see what happens then. Barkley gets the ball, wants to play the ball, he does. Traore still running, but Maguire has turned around now after they've dropped back, and Maguire intercepts that long ball. Do pass to Rashford. Rashford dillies on the ball. Trezeguet gets the tackle in. Grealish is on the ball now then. Pass it back to Barkley. Gets the ball. He's trying to play the long ball over the top again now, Barkley. But as you can see, because our defence has dropped back so much, there's such a smaller gap for him to play the ball into. It's a lot harder for him to play a ball in over the defence into this area. If he plays it too long, it's going to go to Gea or out for a goal kick. If he plays it too short, it's just going to go to the defence. In this case, he does play a perfect pass, but as you can see, he's playing the ball now. Traore is offside. We are still playing for offsides. He does get the ball to Traore in the perfect place, and Traore scores, but he was offside, luckily for us. Luckily, we do get a goal back just before half-time. The long throw-in working again. Williams, the long throw-in, and Cavani is there at the front post to nod in to make it 2-1. Just before half-time. So this is just after half-time now. There were two key things in the first half that I found were the problems and why we were losing, I felt. One was the balls over the top, which I countered by dropping our defence deeper. The second one was their midfielders having so much time on the ball. How I changed that was a change in formation. I changed from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1. So I moved Matic into midfield and I moved Fernandes into a cam position. So what that did is our defenders are still deep because we've made them go deeper. What I've done is made our midfielders higher up the pitch with the cam so that they can quickly close down Aston Villa's midfielders. Hoping because I've moved them forward a bit, they're there already, so they can easily close them down. So this is the first highlight from the after half time. So Fernandes with the corner plays it in to Maguire, but it's cleared. Fernandes then crosses to the back post and Cavani is there to head in to make it 2-2. At this point then you can still tell that we don't really deserve to be on level terms. Aston Villa have been destroying us, but we have got 2 lucky goals and are back in the game. So this is where you can start to see our formation change start to work. Fernandes is already further up the field than he was in the last half. Passes it to Pogba, who's in acre of space. Passes it to Mata. If I pause it here, you can already see you've got Rashford, Cavani and Mata and Fernandes there are 4 attackers now in just outside their box. You have Pogba and I've changed to Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay has come on for Nemanja Matic and he is playing as a ball-winning midfielder support just so that I get another person in a role to close their midfielders down. His specific role now is to close their midfielders whenever they have the ball. You can also see Williams and Telles getting forward to provide more attacks. This is the first highlight we've had where we've actually played the ball up towards their own box. The first goal was a long throw from us and the second was a corner. This is the first time we've actually passed the ball and got to the edge of their box in a highlight. As you can see now, so Mata has the ball, passes it to Cavani who's in space and gets our third goal, which makes it 3-2 to us. So this is another Aston Villa highlight, but I want to show you the shape of us now when they receive the ball back. So they've got the ball, passed it to Trezeguet. Alex Telles gets the ball, passes it to James to McTominay. Harry Maguire boots the ball up and gets it to Mings. So now look at the positions now. Bruno Fernandes is already at their players. McGinn and Douglas Luiz are there. Barkley's a bit further forward. We know that Mings wants to play it to their midfielders. But if he plays it to target, Mata is there. Engels is covered by Cavani. Cash is covered by James. We have El Ghazi, who is covered by Williams. Traore has got Lindelof and Maguire. Trezeguet is there, Alex Telles is the wrong side of Trezeguet, and McTominay is the wrong side of Barkley. But look how close we are to their midfielders now. That's what they want. These are the players they wanted to pass it to. Look how close we are to them now. What Mings does is passes it to Trezeguet, who then passes to McGinn. He's trying the first time ball over the top, but look where our defenders are. Look how deep they are. He's got to get it into this gap here. It's so tight to get it. Like I said earlier, if he passes it too long, it's going to David De Gea. Too short, our defenders are going to cover the ball. This time he makes a mistake and it just goes all the way through to De Gea. That's what I wanted to see from pushing our defenders lower. From this then we get a lot of luck, I feel. McTominay, Pogba plays the ball over the top to Cavani. Looks like Cavani is in. Every team needs a bit of luck. Keeper comes out, makes a mistake. Cavani gets the ball and scores to make it 4-2 to us. So another highlight then, Alex Telles is the throw in to James. James tries to run down the wing, pass it back to Telles, who crosses to no one. El Ghazi picks the ball up, and obviously straight away he wants to hit it over the top of our defenders for Traore to run onto, but look at the gap, look at how far he has to hit the ball now. Our players are still, defence is still quite forward in this frame, but you can see they're starting to run backwards. But look at where their players are that he can pass it to. Target is there, but Mata's come back. Nakamba is there, but Van der Beek is covering him. McGinn's there, but it's hard to play it over the top. McTominay's running back. Williams is there. Douglas Luiz is covered by James. It's a lot harder for him to find a person to pass to, and because of that, Van der Beek intercepts the ball. Pass it to Gea, who plays a nervous pass to Maguire. Plays it upfield. Cavani runs on, plays it over their players. Cavani gets the ball, takes a shot, but it's deflected into Mata's path. Mata scores, which makes it 5-2. This is the final highlight and Aston Villa's last goal, a free kick from Aston Villa, a training ground free kick. You can see 5 players in the wall is probably overkill for this position. We've got 3 players against 3 and then their 4 players at the back post. Totally unmarked, don't need 5 players in there. So Traore, pass it to the back post, Douglas Luiz on his own, no one near him. Shoots him into the far corner. So I'm sure you saw in those key highlights how actually this was a very hard game for us. Aston Villa played extremely well. They had an XG of 2.22. We had a 1.63 XG. They had more shots on target us and had better possession than us. It was a miracle that we won. If you can see here, we were nowhere near getting anywhere near their XG. We had quite some lucky goals, but I do believe it was because of the tactics and the tactics and formation change that helped us win the game, as well as a great performance from Edinson Cavani. But it just shows that if you get to the point where you need to make changes, just make them. Look for areas in the game that you think you're losing and change the tactics to help your team. I hope you learned something from that. I thought it was a great game to show you. It was one of the best games I've ever seen, mainly because we were doing so badly and the changes that I made generally affected how we played and brought us back for the win. So I hope you learned something. I definitely learned something in that game. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.